We recently saw the Model 3 refresh come out, the 3 Fresh if you will, and boy was it exciting, and rumors swirled almost immediately about the Juniper, the Model Y refresh, the Y Fresh if you will, and why won't you? But maybe it's not time for it. Let's have a discussion about that. I'm Brian, welcome to Futuraza. Joining me, as he often does, is my good friend Herbert from Brighter with Herbert. Hello, Herbert. How are you? So good to see you.
Thank you so much, Brian. Why fresh? Yeah, I'm the one asking this question because I myself have been wanting to buy a Model Y. My wife has been asking me to let's go ahead and get it. She settled on the Model Y because I was absolutely, enthralled with the Model 3, the new version of the Model 3. Problem is, the Model 3 does not have the $7,500, tax rebate. And then the Model Y, I said, I don't want to buy one if there's going to be a refresh. Of course, Elon comes out now, confirms there won't be a refresh this year because there was rumors in China that it was coming soon. There was like supplies or parts, right? Supply chain parts that was released.
We had seen a very light refresh. There was a piece that I had seen, which was the center console, but I couldn't tell if it was actually from a Model Y or if it was just from a Model 3 because they would look so similar, and without anything for a frame of reference to know the size of it, I just wasn't convinced. It could have been. So let's look at this article here from TSLA. Musk reiterates that Model Y refresh is not coming this year. He's reiterated that they will be debuting it not this year, but, they've said this before. In February, they told sales advisors in North America to let customers know a Model Y refresh would not be coming to the market. Now, you and I went to the showroom in Bellevue, and we had a chance to talk with the salesman there, and you asked him point blank, is the Model Y refresh coming? And his answer was, if it is, they haven't told me. And I said, that's good, because too often these sales representatives have a degree of confidence that's not necessarily warranted by the amount of information they have. Recently, Jan and I did a whole show on rumors, on single source rumors we had heard from actual Tesla employees. And some of them were outright crazy. And it was a way to illustrating that you can't always take these single source rumors as fact.
I want to ask you a question, though.
Yes.
Is there a possibility they will not do a Model Y refresh? So it doesn't make sense. They probably will. But, just bear me out here. They announced that there's going to be a couple of, more affordable cars being made on the same production lines. So could one of them be a Model Y that's using some of the unboxed model? Why do a Model Y refresh? Just completely use the new unboxed model, make it even more affordable. It is a refresh, but it's it's like that's what it is, not the traditional refresh that is going to match the existing Model 3.
So I do have an answer for that. Just like the Model S and X did not adopt a lot of the great parts of the Model 3 and Y, making the Model 3 and Y in an unboxed method would require you to go all the way back to the drawing board, first principles.
Yeah.
What are you building and how are you building it? You could use the unboxed model to build something that looks like a Model Y. But if you were to try and just piece some extra pieces in there, it wouldn't necessarily work. It wouldn't necessarily give you the benefit. So then the question is, if we're making robotaxi, if we're making compacts, if we're making all these other things, why refresh the Model Y at all? And the answer is, it's the best-selling car in the world. Please don't discontinue the best-selling car in the world. Yeah. And if you could leave it another year or two before a refresh, but at some point you will have to refresh it, and we can see all the pieces that are likely to be in it. The same changes we saw with the Model 3 update, the laminated glass in the back, the improvements to suspension and handling, the little refinements all the way around, the reduction of parts, the improvement of margins. The Model 3 wound up being more expensive to build than the Model Y, despite being a smaller car with fewer atoms. They want to bring that cost savings back to the Model Y, and they can do that. The second article is a little less charitable with its headline: Jalopnik going with ancient Tesla Model Y won't be
Mm-hmm.
refreshed anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, the UAW boss is under investigation. Isn't this
which
fun?
which is the lead story here?
I don't know. That boy, UAW and corruption. That's a combination I didn't have on my bingo card.
Right.
It
Yeah,
turns
sure.
out because it was the free space at the middle. You just get that one. Refresh Model Y not coming out. That's ancient. So, yeah, this can be seen as a bit of a bummer for folks who wanted one. But hey, soldier on, get over it. So, yeah, that's enough of that one. I just wanted to show you that to give you a little bit of warning of the Jalopnik. Man, I get it. You gotta find a fun new way of saying things, but that's just. Would you agree that the Model Y is ancient?
Jeez. So no, obviously no, because it's not based on the year that it released, right? Every several months, they always continue to improve the car, not only software, but as the new Model Ys. And in fact, Elon did say that, right? In his tweet, he did say that every 6 months, there's always something new. Anyways, it's not that it's exact same car as other car manufacturers do. It's exactly the same car, and they don't make any changes to it at all. Every several one, they still call it the Model Y, and it's there. And then, is it ancient? Well, we just looked at a stat that Model Y continues to be the number one selling vehicle in the world. In China, this May, it was the number one sell. Something like 43,000 cars were sold in China for 1 month of Model Y. So
Of
it's not
just the Model
ancient
Y.
until
No.
people thinks it's ancient. Right now, nobody
And
thinks it's ancient.
if you've not driven one,
Yeah,
I don't think you're qualified to speak on the subject.
it's
I
true.
know people. My mom for years would only buy a new car based on cars that she had rented. She traveled a lot for work. She got to drive
Mm.
everything, and eventually would settle on a car based on her experience. That's a pretty good way to do
Mhm.
it. And
Yeah.
then, of course, look at Consumer Reports at the time. It was a print magazine she got in the mail, and look at, I hope, long-term reliability. But a lot of people are convinced that they know what a Tesla is and that they don't want one, having never driven one. There was a great tweet by a post by the Fully Charged guys that said the Electrify Everything Expo is coming up that weekend. What vehicle are you most excited to test drive? And one guy said, I plan to test drive at least four, but no Teslas. And I asked him why. And he said,
Mm.
because I just can't, I just won't do it.
Mm.
Wow.
Mhm.
I mean, you
Mhm.
don't know what you're missing, and you can't know what you're missing. Whenever I give someone their first drive in a Tesla, I walk them through the controls. I show them all the features. I find a nice quiet on ramp and allow them to have a little fun getting up to 60. It
Yeah.
is
The
a
way
good,
to answer that question I love is you say to them, would you test drive a BMW? Would you buy a BMW or a Volkswagen?
yeah, yeah,
Would you do a Volkswagen? Do you know who who started Volkswagen?
yeah.
Are you
It's,
familiar and aware? Would you drive a Ford? Are you
yeah.
aware who the original founder of Ford is and his racist views?
He had some pretty dark views that he was not shy about. Um, but different times, Herbert. Evil was okay back then. I don't think
Sure.
that's true, but okay. Well, yeah, but times have changed. They have changed. I don't know, man. You should at least drive it to have an expectation of what you want in a car.
I've got
And
another
yeah,
angle
let's hear it.
of, the question is the Model Y ancient?
Yes.
And well, you can get a 2020 Model Y, whatever. What's the first year it came out? Do you remember?
Yeah, I think it's 2020. It was
Yeah.
yeah,
You have the
May,
first one, okay? Let's
April of
consider it to
20.
be ancient. Let's completely agree that it's ancient because it's now 4 years later, hasn't been upgraded. But that car is robo-taxi ready. That car is ready to go autonomous.
Hmm.
That car has the cameras. It has the, whether it's hardware 3 or hardware 4, doesn't matter. That is still very much ready to go robotaxi. So I would buy an ancient car if at any moment, which is coming very soon, next year, 2 years, 3 years from now, I can turn it on and become robotaxi. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a car, you call it ancient, but then compared to all other cars out there, any other
Right.
car out there, they don't have the capability of flipping the switch. At some point, they become this brand new, state of the art, so advanced of anybody else, gonna make me 5 times my money. People will pay me 5 times my money for my ancient car. Yes,
Well, we get a
I'll
lot of
get that.
pushback in the comments on your ambitions, and ambitious targets on robotaxi. But let's just even say your oldest Model Y does not have the most sophisticated gigacastings. The new ones do. It does not. It probably doesn't have laminated glass on the front, on the driver and passenger side windows. They now do, but it is the car has been getting better over the air. So right there, it's a newer car. It's got the best sound system of any car you've probably ever gotten from the factory. I've been in cars with upgraded sound systems that are not as nice as my factory sound system. The cars are awfully good. And the idea that it's ancient suggests that the author doesn't know what's going on under the hood, or is more accurately
Yeah.
lying.
If it's the most best-selling car today, even though Tesla's ancient is still better than any other car maker's most recent car, the most advanced car. Now, it depends on what you are comparing it to, right? What kind of features? But like I say, the best features are over-the-air software. It's the software, the features that you can get that you can't get anywhere else. It's
Yeah.
it's going to be the robotaxi. These are things that no other car maker can catch yet.
So, guys, in the comments, how do you feel about a refresh Model Y? Would you buy one as soon as it comes out? Would you buy one eventually? Do you even care? Do you even have a Y? You got to tell me why, because we got to know. So, what do we miss? What do we misunderstand? Leave it into the comments below and stay tuned, stay juicy. And I cannot wait to hear from you, clever robots, in your Model Y.